Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to part 2 of your 2023 reading. Of course, part 1 will be linked up down below if you haven't watched it already. But we're going to jump right in here, and we are going to look at your 5th house in this first row, which is going to represent romance, creativity, self-expression, play, children, all that other good stuff. And, I'm laughing because I had a feeling that there was going to be something about your finances coming up in the 5th house, and you have this sudden wealth card, Empress, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, so it looks like there's going to be a lot of fulfillment coming into your life from 5th house matters. So again, you could be getting fulfillment from children. Like if you have children, for example, not only could their energy be fulfilling here, but just they could have ideas that lead to sudden wealth for you, or they might be helping you in your job or in your business or something like that. I would also say that, intuitively, we'll take it. Why not? That fell off there. So, yeah, and you have this legacy card. How crazy is that card fell off? And we have Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus and Taurus, Uranus in your sign is all about building freedom, but building and leaving a legacy. So it really doesn't surprise me, but I do feel there is like sudden wealth, or there could be better finances coming into your home. You have this house card, and so I feel that's going to be important for you. It says 777 here on this sudden wealth card as well, so 777 could be important for you at this time, or that could be like a sign or a symbol of like what's to come. But I think that for you, again, 5th house has to do with a lot of stuff, but intuitively, I would be focusing on creativity, creative solutions, new Empress, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Cups. The Empress, of course, is a card of creativity. She also has a major focus on like gratitude and luxuries, just like the 9 of Pentacles as well. Her clothing that she is wearing is meant to look heavy. Like she focuses on the finer things in life. She wants the finer things in life. That doesn't mean that she's materialistic, of course. That just means that she wants things that are of quality. She wants to experience quality experiences in her life. So I would definitely be focusing on quality with the Empress, but plain and simple, I think she's talking about abundance coming in for you. You also have the 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles, of course, is pre-Empress energy. Clearly, you're like glowing up this year. You are definitely one of the signs that benefits the most from 2023, so it doesn't really surprise me that there would be all this good stuff coming in for you at this time, Taurus. But I also feel that your focus is going to be very important. She's training her focus. She has this falcon right here on her hand, and she's training like herself to focus on the things that she really wants, whatever that is for you. And the thing is that she looks, it's kind of a tricky thing because she looks for exactly what she wants to see in pretty much every single situation, and she blocks out the rest. And some people would be saying, well, isn't that ignoring reality? And I'm always like, well, yeah, but at the same time, like, why do you think relationships are so good at the beginning, right? Relationships are the best at the beginning for most people because they're looking for exactly what they want to see at the beginning of the relationship. And then what happens is we start, finding little things to get annoyed by. We start thinking about, what our ex did to us, and then that pops up in our energy, and we see that in the person that we're with as well. So, really, I question whether or not we need to do that, or can we just keep looking for what we want to see, and then we will see it, right? And so that's what I'd be focusing on here with the 9 of Pentacles. I would be focusing on fulfillment. I would be bathing in the energy of exactly what you want. But I would also just be plain and simple here. I would be focusing on creativity, and I would be focusing on creative projects, creative solutions. Pretty much any of that stuff is clearly going to bring you like wealth or success. The 5th house, it is the house of like good fortune and luck as well. With the Empress, you have the inheritance card. I don't think you're really inheriting something. I feel this is talking about you building or leaving a legacy. You end with a legacy card. It's like you're creating something that could be inherited by people in the future. I feel like saying people, not even like necessarily family. Like you could be developing something, or you could be passing down some knowledge that benefits more than just your family. But I really feel you're like building and leaving a legacy. That's the whole point of Uranus and Taurus, as I've been saying. It's like 10 of Pentacles, basically, Uranus and Taurus. That's not accurate tarot, by the way, but that's how I would describe the energy. So that's what you're doing. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Enterprise card. I think this could be happening for you right now. It's like this good fortune is coming in for you right away. At the Nine of Cups here, you have this Influence card. I feel like this is just saying, again, don't focus on what you don't want. Focus exactly on what you do want. I feel like you could be, there could be certain influences, things in the world, things happening around you, and I would just kind of like block those things out so that you don't interrupt your success, basically, because this looks like a very successful time. Next, we're going to be looking at your 6th house. This house represents like work, health, your daily routine. You have this Mercury card here and this progression card. The Mercury card says messages. The progression card says journey on it. So some of you could be thinking about like travel or, really, I feel like this is a journey of self-improvement. For you, it's kind of interesting because, the 6th house can represent self-improvement, but for you, it feels very different to me. It's not like, I think some people think like self-improvement, they're like, oh, I'm going to go walk across coals with Tony Robbins, or, I'm going to, something different. For you, I get more of this energy of kind of like stepping into something that you've always been. Even your next card, you have this New Life card, which I just love in this deck. To me, it is like the best card in this deck. The Wisdom of the Oracle is the name of the deck, and it's, to me, it's like just becoming what you have always been, like kind of like reaching your full potential, right? Let's put it that way. And I feel like that's the journey that you are on. I feel like you could be getting some messages here as well, like, and these messages are guiding you in this direction. Look, if we look here, you have the Page of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the High Priestess. The Chariot really tells me that you're kind of charging forward towards something here, or you're moving towards something that could make you very successful. I feel like you're kind of like moving more, you're not like running away from things any longer. That's not really what the Chariot represents, but those are the words that I'm getting here with the Chariot, is that you're really kind of like taking control. I feel like you're kind of choosing to go through things as well. So it's like sometimes I think we have certain challenges that pop up, and we can either face those challenges or we can run away from them. And, I really feel like you're choosing to face things, and especially if it's going to help you as far as your, self-improvement is concerned. Again, the 6th house can represent self-improvement. And that's really what I'm getting for you here, Taurus. I'm not really getting much of the other stuff like work, although you do have the Page of Pentacles here. On a very small level, I feel like you could be learning new ways of doing work, but for the most part, I feel like you're pretty much kind of just like going through the motions here of work, not in a bad way. I actually see there's clearly a ton of success here. You have that whatever this card said, sudden wealth. You have this legacy card, this Ace of Pentacles. So you're clearly benefiting from whatever work that you do in a big way. And I feel it's going to make, obviously kind of lift some burdens here. It's like one thing that stands out to me in your reading is that pretty much everyone else that I've done for this second part, part 2, basically the next 4 houses, pretty much everyone has had some like heavy burdens. They haven't been like bad readings, but there have been these like background concerns and like all this other stuff. You don't have any of that, and it's really standing out to me. So clearly, like I said, things are going in the right direction for you here, and I really like that. If I was being super, super picky with that Page of Pentacles, I would say learn as much as you can about what it is that you do. Anything you can do to like upgrade your skills, to like learn new things or whatever would be very beneficial there. Next, you have the High Priestess. Trust your intuition, but I would also say that this is a very internal card. The High Priestess, she's sitting alone, and she's maybe has her back to the world. And I say maybe because we don't really know. And, it's just like one interpretation of the High Priestess, that she is kind of blocking out the noise from behind her, and she is really focusing on herself. She's really focusing on what she wants. She's really focusing on her desires, and maybe it's a mystery as to how she can get the things that she desires, but she's going to probably figure it out. So let's see what is going on for you here. With that Page of Pentacles, you have this Coral card here. I would definitely say no fighting or arguments in work. I mean, again, there might be some people who are talking behind your back. I feel really your challenge is that just people don't understand you. This year, especially, Taurus. I don't think it's a bad thing, though. It's just like one of those things where, I don't know, I think we go through stages where people maybe can't see our vision. So I think as long as you're not trying to convince people in your life, anybody in your life, that you're going in the right direction, I would just kind of like just go with the flow, basically. Or I don't really have any good advice, because intuitively I feel that maybe people don't understand the things that you're doing, or maybe people don't see the success that you could have with what you are doing yet, but they will. So I would just say, just keep doing what you're doing, ignore everyone, and just keep working. With the Chariot, you have this risk card. I do feel like you are taking some sort of a risk at this time. Some of you could be like moving or traveling for work with that Chariot card. That could be a risk. The other thing is that the Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way, right? And so with the Chariot, the risk we could be taking is we could be grabbing control of what we want and kind of like making something happen. And I kind of feel that energy here, where it's kind of like, you're like burning your boats. He is basically leaving behind the city behind him, and he's just trusting that he's going in the right direction. So it's like that type of risk that you could be taking. With the High Priestess, you have the Birth card. You have the Empress. You have this Birth card. If you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful. If you're trying to get pregnant, go for it for sure. Literally, you have the Empress in the House of Children, so obviously that could be birth this year. But the other thing is again, this could be the birth of just a new creative idea, a new opportunity, and the High Priestess is the card of potential. The High Priestess says that something has a lot of potential, but potential is nothing. And we have to, grab onto something that has great potential and make it happen. Next, you have this New Life card and this Community card. This is showing up in your 7th house of relationships, marriage, all that stuff, contracts. But it could be any relationships. It doesn't have to be love. And you have the Community card. So, like I said, I feel some of you could be building a community. I'm pretty sure in one of your last readings, there was like a big thing. I don't really remember, but there was like a big thing about building a community or kind of like having a community. I do feel if you're doing that, that could be where there is a lot of like finances or this sudden wealth coming in for you. And, so I would say that would be good for you. I also feel like, again, this New Life card it's just like you kind of like becoming what you have always been. You're reaching your full potential, as I said earlier. And I feel that sometimes when we reach our full potential, obviously we attract a person who has also reached their full potential. So there could be love coming in for you. But what's interesting is that like there aren't a ton of love cards here in your reading. Of course, that does not mean that you won't attract love, but I'm just saying there just aren't a ton of love cards here. You have these 7 of Wands, the Judgment card, and the 3 of Pentacles. I would be focusing on the 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands here. 7 of Wands says that maybe if you want, especially if you want love, then you're going to have to open up to it with these 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands can be a little standoffish or, kind of not open to love. So I would open up if I were you, if you want love, like I said. It's a card of great commitment. 7 of Wands is a card of like knowing that you know that you want something. It's a card of conviction, like really believing something deep down inside. So I feel if you believe that you can have love, then you will. I also think that you could be attracting a person who is 3 of Pentacles. I love the 3 of Pentacles for love. It's like a person who legitimately wants to carry their own weight, a person who wants to put in the work, right? It's a card of teamwork. They really want to co-create. So I do feel you could be attracting a person who wants to co-create with you, who wants to really put in the work, who wants to keep the romance alive, like all those good things. And I feel like they're fun as well. This person right here, she has polka dots on her cloak, and polka dots in the tarot, they represent needing to have more fun, but I do feel you are attracting a person who is fun. You have the Judgment card here. The Judgment card is a card of waking up. I do feel like some of you are waking up. I'm also focusing on the Red Cross. I'm getting the words Red Cross popping into my head as well. It's like, and it is intuitive. I'm very, very careful with the messages I receive because, I could see how you could say, obviously with the Red Cross here, I would be very, very easily influenced. But, again, I've been doing this for years. People always ask me, they're like, is it because there's a Red Cross on the card? I'm like, well, yes, of course. But at the same time, definitely an intuitive message. I'm getting something about the Red Cross. I don't know. You could be meeting someone at the Red Cross. Maybe you're donating blood or something. I have no clue. But take how it resonates, right? But that Red Cross is standing out to me big time in this reading. I also feel like someone's thawing out here. Like I feel you could be attracting a person who has been kind of like in a zombie state is what I'm getting. This is not a bad thing, though. It's like sometimes, what I mean by this is like you could be the person that warms this person up, right? You could be this the person that's like thawing a person out. It could also be you. You could be the person that's kind of like just in work mode or, that's what I mean by like a zombie state. I feel like this person or you is like a good zombie, right? I feel like you're just kind of like going through the motions of every single day. But I don't know, it's kind of weird. This person, I feel like you could be attracting a person. I don't think they've given up on love. I just feel maybe they just feel, I don't know, they feel something here, Taurus. Let's see. With the Seven of Wands, you have this decision card. Some of you could just be plain and simple making a decision whether or not you want love in your life. It could just be that simple. This is Mars in Gemini, and we do have Mars in Gemini until March, so that could be another time frame that really stands out for you as far as love is concerned. I do feel you could be meeting a person in Mars and Gemini. I feel like this person is very straightforward. You see this chessboard here? It's kind of like I'm getting the opposite popping into my head. But what I mean by that is I feel like if you're meeting a person, they play no games at all. I feel like they're just like, whatever. It's like they're very matter-of-fact type of energy here. I feel like I've said this to you before. I feel like you could be attracting a person where it's like, like there's like all these like freaking relationship rules and stuff like this. I feel like this person's like, you either want it or you don't. I actually think that's probably what attracts you to this person as well, is the fact that they're just like so, just so over it in the best way possible. With the Judgment card, you have this Friendship card. Could be an old friend, someone that you already know. Someone that you've been friends with as well. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a friend. Again, this is the 7th house, which is all relationships, not just love. So again, it does seem like a very good year for socializing, making new friends, meeting new people. I feel for all you earth signs, I've been saying it to Capricorn like crazy, but for all earth signs, there is just a very good kind of like co-creative energy available to all of you. So anything you can do to work together with other people is going to be just very beneficial for you, Taurus. With the 3 of Pentacles, you have this Rebellion card. I feel like you could be attracting like a little bit of a rebel, of course. I feel like it could be an Aquarius as well. It could be any sign. You have basically every single sign here, literally. You have fire, air, water, and earth. So yeah, you have like everything showing up in these cards. But I do feel like you could be attracting someone who's a little bit rebellious. I feel like it works with your personality is what I feel like saying. I'm going to clarify this again. Yeah. Look at this. Sun in Taurus right here. And this is the acquisition card. This is my fancy couple card. So you could be attracting someone fancy. This could be where the sudden wealth is coming in here, Taurus. You could be attracting someone who is wealthy, or again, 3 of Pentacles. I'm telling you right now, the future is not like necessarily like one person being wealthy, right, and like getting married. Do you get what I'm saying here? People will still do that, don't get me wrong, but I feel like for the most part, people in the future are going to be very focused on co-creation. Like if you're getting together with a person, and with these wealth cards coming up, 3 of Pentacles, it's like you're attracting a person where maybe you build a business together and you become wealthy like together. Maybe you attract a person who is building a business. Maybe they're not successful yet, but maybe by you entering into their life, you, again, become successful together. And that is kind of like what I see here for some of you. Of course, you could be attracting a person who already has money, I feel here. But again, I feel like your presence is the thing that could actually make this more. But it's like you're working together here or something like that. I don't know. Looks good to me, Taurus, clearly. Next in your 8th house. The 8th house is like other people's money, building or leaving a legacy. You have the legacy card here. It has nothing to do with a legacy. It has to do with like other people's money, debt, taxes, death, intimacy, things like that. You have this voice card. It says, using your voice could be very lucrative for you. I'm pretty sure you had this card with me recently. And so, if you're doing a YouTube podcast, anything like that, that will be good for you. You have this rescuer card. It says, someone in your life may need help getting back on track. I would be careful. I would actually be careful of Savior Complex this year. And what I mean by that is I like, there's too much energy of being taken advantage of this year. So I would be careful of this. I'm not saying don't help a person, but what I am saying is I would just kind of, make sure that you're actually helping a person, right? It's like if you have a person who's coming to you and they're always asking for help, maybe it's time for them to help themselves, right? Because especially if they're an adult. So I would be careful of that, and it is popping into my head. You have this legacy card. It says your work will be passed down to future generations. Literally said that at the beginning of the card. I figured this card was just about building or leaving a legacy. It says harvest the gifts of your ancestors. These gifts are also yours. So I feel for a lot of you that you're very focused on building or leaving a legacy. It makes perfect sense with Uranus and Taurus. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Moon card here. It's like time to set yourself free here with the Hangman. The Hangman, he has sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs, and he's done this to gain enlightenment. He's done this to gain clarity, but his head is glowing. It's like there's nothing more for him to learn. There's nothing more for him to do. He knows what he needs to do. He knows he needs to kind of like get moving here. And sorry, everything is like sticking together over here for some reason. And sorry. So anyway, he knows what he needs to do. And so I feel like some of you need to get moving here. And again, the 8th house rules like death, but I do feel there is a transformation going on here. That's what I mean by death, right? It does rule like literal death, but, I don't really feel that. I feel more this is a transformation that needs to happen. The 8th house is also kind of like dark, and you have the moon card here. So some of you have been going through a moon period. I feel like there are a lot of accomplishments coming in for you in the future. I also kind of feel like, as far as intimacy is concerned, this could represent tapping into kind of like your, tapping into your inner voice. You have this card, High Priestess. You have a lot of mystery energy here. And again, the 8th house can represent mysteries. So some of you I'm not suggesting that you're like revealing any mysteries about yourself or anything like that, but, there might be some, things that you're like, some energy that you're clearing up that has to do with like intimacy or being intimate with people or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is, I feel like it will help you in the future. You also have the 8 of Pentacles here. Again, it's funny that, the Ace of Pentacles, although I have the 8 of Pentacles popping into my head here. This is the house of other people's money. So this is like an offer coming in for you. I do feel like you could be getting offers of money, but again, I also feel like you could be attracting a person into your life who has money, and that's what the Ace of Pentacles is saying. Pretty simple stuff in this 8th house energy. So I like it. I also like that I don't see anything going out, because the 8th house, again, can be money that you owe to people or money going out, but it looks pretty good. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have this practicality card. Again, if I was being super, super picky about this, the Ace of Pentacles is kind of about like having a garden and nurturing it. I talk about this to you all the time because of Uranus and Taurus. To me, Uranus and Taurus is basically also, it's like the 10 of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles together. It basically says you need to nurture something into existence and take care of it like a garden. You need to weed it. You need to nurture it, fertilize it, water it, and blah, 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 blah. Everything that you can do to grow a healthy garden, you need to do in your business or with your finances, right? So make sure you're developing positive financial habits, but I also feel like being very practical will help you grow your finances even more. Look at this. With the Hangman, you have this riches card. I'm telling you right now, this is a very good financial year for you. Probably one of the best that you will have had in a very long time. So do I need to say more? Probably not. Could also be a Pisces that's coming in for you. Obviously, you have 3 Pisces cards, but I don't know. I'm a Pisces, and like I've said to everyone, Pisces has been in like everybody's business for the last year. So, I don't know what to say about Pisces, but there you go. Take it how it resonates. With the moon, you have this negotiation card here. Look, there's a moon and a sun on this negotiation card. I feel like this is saying no negotiation. Can we get more details on no negotiation, please? Yeah, principle. I feel like you need to stick to your principles. Look, a sun and a moon. You go from the moon and the sun to the sun and the moon on this principle card right here. How crazy is that? And what I would say to you is I feel that this is kind of like saying sometimes I think we make sacrifices with ourselves where it's like, this negotiation card, I feel is you negotiating with yourself. Like maybe you're saying, oh, I want to start this business. And you could be saying to yourself that you want maybe to make $100,000 a month, but maybe you're saying, you know what, but I'll be fine with 10,000. I feel like this is saying, no, you won't. This is saying you need to go for exactly what you said in the first place. If you said 100,000, then that's what it is. And I feel like this is saying you need to go towards your success like unapologetically, right? And then that's it. You will be successful if you do that, Taurus. Mark my words. Looks like a very financially successful year for you. But we're going to pull 5 main themes to see if there's anything else that wants to come up here. You have this teapot card. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. There's like a lot of stuff going on here about friends and friendship. I would say there's probably multiple friendships that are coming in for you this year. I really feel like you're leveling up, though. Again, you have that new life card, and that woman is on the pedestal on the new life card. So I feel like you're just attracting better energies as far as like friends and family are concerned, or just people. You have this angel card that says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. So you are clearly protected at this time with this angel card. You also have this November card, and you have this desk card that says pay attention to your work. So maybe in the month of November 2023, you should pay attention to your work here. Can we get more details on that? You have this diamond. You will be receiving or giving a precious gift. So there you go. But diamonds are formed through pressure is what's popping into my head. So in the month of November next year, you could be experiencing pressure. I feel this is saying if you go through the pressure, you're going to turn something into something even better. You have this flowers card. It says happiness on it. So we see a lot of happiness here. I do feel like if you're attracting love, I feel this person is very happy, but I also feel like you're attracting like a person who really tries to be positive. I feel like you're attracting a person who like understands that bad things always happen, right, in life, but it's like this person, I see them, I feel like they are like a little ray of sunshine, right? Something like that. Next, you have this May card, and you have this boat. It says money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. So maybe in the month of May of 2023, you will be receiving an inheritance. You have two inheritance cards. You have the inheritance, and then this one it says money or inheritance or a windfall. So there could be money or inheritance or a windfall in May. This is a really good reading here, Taurus. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your year.